to the level of time, efforts, and resources put into building the future. But there are some for whom enough was enough a long time ago. Former educator Jay Philippe says he finds it disappointing that a decade later, the frustration remained the same.
Just aren't paid enough. The bottom line, they're not paid enough for the work that they do all year round. And hoping that we can, find ways to ensure that they can, that they're happy in the work field. Whether it's helping with accommodations, whether it's stipends for different reasons for classrooms, to ensure that the classrooms are up to par, gas, whatever it is. We need to prioritize teachers.
But it's not just the money causing hundreds to consider a similar future as these two educators, according to Bahamas Union of Teachers President Belinda Wilson.
There's much work to be done to improve the education system. Disrespect by officials from the ministry and the Department of Education, principals and administrators, parents and students. They also feel as though their views and ideas are not accepted or disregarded. There's an increasing number of paperwork, abundance of paperwork. There's a lack of material, equipment, tools for the teachers to work with, and so much more.
During the budget debate, Education, Science and Technology Minister Chester Cooper said that the ministry was short a total of 300 teachers. Duncombe's frustrations that were posted on Facebook alone gained similar sentiments and signaled a greater concern that if there's not a greater focus planned on valuing the profession, the industry might see a concerning future. Rebecca Bain, Eyewitness News.
Well, a number of residents complaining tonight about what they call an unjustifiable increase in power bills. Daniel Dean has more.
1 month it was 100 over, and then another month it was 150 over. So it was like hitting 300. That was extreme for me. I didn't like it, but I had to pay it piece.
A number of residents have raised concerns about skyrocketing light bills, some even taking to social media to post the breakdown of cost they say they struggle to understand. Multiple BPL customers reported increases of over 100%.
When I looked at my bill for the period for the last year from June 2025 to 2026, my bill fluctuated in the range of 144 to 279. So that's the range. And then all of a sudden, June of this year, it's 623. Last month, I paid 259. So I just couldn't understand the jump from 259 to 623, which is like 140% increase.
The power company sought to explain heightened bills through a How to Read Your BPL Bill infomercial Thursday morning, urging customers to properly assess their meter readings, understand fuel charges that fluctuate based on customer use, and consider the equity rate adjustment, which is funding long-term upgrades to the system to reduce future costs. The company attributed skyrocketing costs to users burning more electricity to stay cool during the summer. One resident says she understands and believes it's a give and take.
If you want to burn central air all day, right? You have to give up something. You can't be buying a Nike tennis every week. You have to learn to cut back, or else you can be in darkness.
I came back this month, $29, which wasn't bad. I paid that off too. So when I go back this month, I'm watching to see what it will be.
Meanwhile, some clients say they're still reeling from the string of power outages within recent weeks, noting there are consequences beyond being without light for hours.
They need to learn to keep the lights on first, because there's cut off electricity and mess up people's appliances too much. That's what I don't like with them. And it don't be 1 hour. It's be more than 1 hour, 2 and 3 hours, and people's things are being destroyed.
I'm appalled to think that people with less resources, less income, how do they make it? It's something needs to be done.
As the cost of living remains a point of contention, questions about whether the Bahamian people are truly feeling promised relief remain. Danielle Dean, Eyewitness News.
Free National Movement Senator Trevor Johnson slamming the Bahamas Power and Light Company for inconsistent electricity supply amid power bill hikes. Johnson said the issue has become a routine for the company, despite promises in the speech from the throne to address energy concerns.
If you do not pay your bill, if the light is off, your light will be off. If you don't pay your bill and the light is on, your light's still gonna be off.
When will the lights stay on? When will BPL's most reliable service be electricity rather than outage notifications? And when will the loudest sounds in our neighborhoods be children playing and not generators starting up? Madam President, businesses cannot operate efficiently with unpredictable power interruptions. Students cannot study, clinics cannot function optimally, and families cannot plan their daily lives around recurring outages. The standard is simple. The success of this government's energy agenda will not be measured by speeches or legislative announcements. It will be measured by whether Bahamians experience fewer blackouts, lower electricity bills, and a more resilient power system. Those are the outcomes that matter. Those are the outcomes that the Bahamian people deserve.
The issue also seemed to be a boiling point for Senator Ulrich Fox, who got into a brief back and forth with Attorney General Wayne Monroe over his belief that inconsistent supply should not be rewarded with consistent bill payment.
If you do not pay your bill, if the light is off, your light will be off. If you don't pay your bill and the light is on, your light's still gonna be off because they can disconnect you. That's the simple point. You clear?
Senator Fox, please proceed. Thank you.
Madam President. I just want to make sure I understand what you're saying. It sounds like we should then
pay our bills.
I could be wrong. If we're not sure about the percentages of the light being on or off at any point in time when it comes to our power bills, it may be better to live a fantasy and roll the dice and just gamble and not pay. Is that what you're suggesting?
No, not at all. You have a choice. It's a free country. Nobody can force anyone to do anything.
Well, Bahamas Power and Light says its base rate and fuel charge have not changed since the fall, blaming the increase in bills on higher electricity consumption during the summer months. In a statement released this afternoon, the company says as temperatures rise, appliances like air conditioners, refrigerators, and deep freezers work harder and run longer, leading to the higher monthly bills. BPL says it will explain the link between summer temperatures, household energy use, and monthly bills as part of an energy tips campaign next week. Well, as uproar continues over government's proposed plan to increase parliamentarian salaries, Attorney General Wayne Monroe in the Senate proceedings this afternoon urged his colleagues on the opposition side and by extension the wider public to ease their frustrations. According to Monroe, he also serves as Minister of Legal Affairs. Before the notion can materialize, legislation has to be drafted and passed.
Legislation is drafted in my office. No legislation has been released for consultation yet. How it will look when it's released is yet to be determined. And so that's the bottom line to it. What they say may affect what is released. And they may be surprised, the public may be surprised. Who knows what will happen after the drafting is finished? But that is the work that we do when we're not sitting in this place.
The issue was raised by Free National Movement Senator Ulrich Fox, who suggested that before consideration is made for increases in that chamber, Bahamians should be put first. Monroe refuted the idea that Bahamians have not been.
This assertion that there is, starting from here, is factually inaccurate. As a matter of fact, Madam President, a fact seldom known is that the Secretary to the Cabinet is paid more than the Prime Minister. My permanent secretary is paid more than me. Lawyers in the Office of the Attorney General are paid more than the Attorney General. So that is the context.
Well, Senator Monroe also says that the Senate may very well skip a summer break to continue passing legislation, while the members of the lower chamber will be off until September. Monroe giving the warning today after Senator Ulrich Fox brought up the long break, prompting the AG to rise to his feet on a point of clarification.
There are laws in place, so if we need to pass a law to meet some CFATF requirement, this place will be called back to work in the summer, because we will be adjourned sine die. We are not like them. And I put this place on notice so that everyone can be clear. I haven't looked at what it will take for the House to be recalled before the date that it has adjourned to. But this place, out of an abundance of caution, never adjourns and will not adjourn while I lead government business here to a set date. We will always adjourn, so we will always be on call.
Well, in other news, a recent central bank survey shows not only an apparent hike in banking fees, but also that consumers who conduct most of their banking digitally save more on monthly fees. The report reflects banking activity across institutions during the second half of 2025, ending in December. According to the report, average monthly fees for digital banking ranged from $3.39 to $18.03. Up from $2.77 to $16.92 6 months earlier. Now, while customers conducting their banking primarily through physical branches continued to face considerably higher costs, averaging monthly charges for paper-based and over-the-counter banking ranging from $11.05 to $33.50 compared to $10.23 to $27.61 6 months earlier. Despite fee increases across nearly all account types, student accounts remained the least expensive to maintain, while adult checking accounts carried the highest monthly cost. Customers who primarily banked in person saw the steepest increases, with fees for adult checking accounts rising by more than 21% between June and December 2025. The central bank noted that banking costs vary depending on the financial institution, account type, and customers' banking habits. For more on this report, log on to our website at ewnews.com. And Eyewitness News did turn to social media, posing the question, would you consider switching to digital banking to save on banking fees? 21% of participants voted yes if it helps lower my monthly banking costs. 72% voted I already do most of my banking digitally. 4% voted no, I prefer banking in person despite the higher fees. 3% voted not sure. Be sure to vote on our daily polls posted every day on our Facebook pages. Well, we've added another access point to make sure that you're up to date with news. Don't forget to follow the Eyewitness News WhatsApp channel by scanning the QR code on your screen or visiting our social media pages for a direct link. And while you're there, don't forget to follow Eyewitness News on Instagram and Facebook. And if you've got a news tip or if you've seen news in the making, call the Eye on News hotline at 397-6397. We also invite you to send your letters to the editor for publication on all of our social media platforms at eyewitnessnewsbahamas@gmail.com. And if you're watching on our Facebook or YouTube page, share your thoughts about today's stories in the comment section. We want to hear from you. We are just getting started in Eyewitness News, but when we come back, Commonwealth Bank introduces its first ever female at the helm. We've got that story coming up, and later the Bahamas Chamber cautiously optimistic about the labor numbers. We've got more on that right after this break.
Vibes is resilience in motion. So even when things go out of sync, we do what it takes to bring the vibes back. At BTC, we understand your vibes because we live it. That's why we are dedicated to building a network as resilient as you, with a team of familiar faces working every day to keep you on beat. You are at the heart of everything we do. Our commitment is to keep your vibes flowing no matter what.
Captain Cash & Co. viral videos have shown you using what is said to be super speed to deliver cash to citizens around the world. Can you explain this?
Those people are simply taking advantage of Cash & Go's Cash Now money lending service, our easy-to-use money lending portal.
How does it work?
Well, you simply enter your information along with a recent payslip, a picture of your ID, and then select your loan amount and the repayment term. We review it as soon as possible. And then once approved, we could have your cash delivered to your mobile wallet, or we could send it directly to a bank of your choosing. Any more questions?
No. Thanks, Cash & Go, man.
It's Captain Cash & Go.
Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, and everybody watching from Nassau. Tonight, we welcome a star. So please join me in welcoming the barbecue rap star, star of the show!
KFC, it's finger licking good.
Independence Day is right around the corner, and so are the savings at Super Value and Quality supermarkets. Libby spaghetti and meatballs, 15 ounces, $1.69. Mahatma jasmine rice, 2 pounds, $2.99. Whole chickens, $1.89 per pound. Sweet nectarines or peaches, $2.19 per pound. Sweet strawberries, 1 pound, $5.99. Shop with confidence knowing you're saving when you're shopping the specials at Super Value and Quality supermarkets.
This segment of Eyewitness News is brought to you by EV Motors Fleet Sales Division. For 2026 commercial vehicles, call 821-2403 today.
Welcome back. Here's a look at your Eyewitness News gas tracker. Esso gas station, $7.07 per gallon, the highest right now. Lewis gas station, the lowest at $6.87 per gallon. The Shell gas station in the middle at $7.03 per gallon. This is Eyewitness News, and welcome back. Well, a historic leadership change at Commonwealth Bank Limited as the institution appointed veteran banking executive Denise Turnquest as its new president and chief executive officer, effective July 1st, marking the bank's first female appointment to the position. With more than 4 decades of experience in banking and finance, Turnquest has played a key role in the bank's growth, leading strategic planning, finance, credit and asset management, operations, innovation, and business development. Executive Chairman William Sands Jr. praised Turnquest's leadership, experience, and commitment to the bank, expressing confidence in her ability to lead Commonwealth Bank through its next chapter of growth. Turnquest says she is honored by the appointment and remains committed to strengthening the organization, enhancing the client experience, and continuing the bank's long-standing tradition of service to Bahamians. Well, congratulations to her. The Bahamas Chamber of Commerce and Employers Confederation is expressing cautious optimism following the release of preliminary labor force survey results from the Bahamas National Statistical Institute for the third and fourth quarters of 2025. The Chamber CEO, Dr. Leo Roll, says the data points to continued improvement in employment and labor force participation.
And the labor market, what it reflects is the resilience of the Bahamian economy and the confidence that businesses have demonstrated, whether it be through continual investment, expansion, and the creation of employment opportunities. So definitely, we would commend both the private and the public sector for the continuous improved outcomes. We would have noted that unemployment would have seen a slight decrease. Those discouraged or despondent workers would have also seen a slight decrease.
However, the chamber warns that the headline figures do not tell the full story. It says employers across nearly every sector and island continue to face a severe shortage of skilled labor, describing it as one of the most significant constraints on economic growth today.
The challenge of the labor force relative to skilled labor, we know that it does not, the headline does not fully capture the realities that employers continue to face across almost every major island, key, and of course industry. One of the things is we note that there's been an increase in availability of jobs for construction, healthcare, IT, financial services, of course, and manufacturing and retail. Yet employers continue to contend with the challenge of finding skilled labor.
Well, this week, Health and Wellness Minister Dr. Michael Darville revealed that the government's rollout of ambulances across the Bahamas is facing a setback. While the vehicles are ready to be deployed as part of efforts to strengthen the country's emergency response system, the minister says a shortage of certified emergency medical technicians has slowed the progress, with some applicants unable to pass their EMT certification exams. Now, CEO of the Phlebotomy Mastery Institute, Delette Miller, who will soon be offering EMT training courses, is encouraging those who were unsuccessful to try again.
Even if you don't pass the exam the first time, that's no reason to give up, especially if you know that that's your purpose. That's the way God made you to help this country. So we have had persons who have sat our American certification exams, and either they're distraught enough that they don't pursue it again, or they have done it 2 and 3 times and passed it, even without my knowledge. And so I think we need to know that it's not just about the money. We need to help people. There are a lot of Bahamians here, though, who I know personally who could train EMTs. We are looking to do that as well in the new year, because that is one course. If we put that out today, we would have a full class right now, because they want to do it. So why not give them the equipment in order to pass these classes?
More than 300 people across the Family Islands have been trained in psychological first aid. The Ministry of Health and Wellness says 315 people were certified between August 2024 and May 2026 through a partnership with the Bahamas Psychological Association. The training reached healthcare workers, educators, social workers, police officers, community leaders, and residents across 14 Family Islands. Officials say the program is designed to help communities provide emotional support during crises, disasters, and emergencies. Free sessions planned for New Providence from July to September are said to be fully booked. While promoting community building remains a top priority for Bahamas Striping Group of companies as executives have relaunched their feeding program, Linton Ritchie Jr. has the details.
Bringing communities together through service remains the driving force behind the Let's Make a Difference initiative, a community outreach program launched nearly a decade ago by the Bahamas Striping Group of companies. What began as an effort to provide meals for residents in Exuma has grown into a nationwide campaign. This year, organizers have expanded their reach across several islands with an ambitious goal of serving more than 15,000 people.
This initiative gives everyone an opportunity to make an impact in just one day.
Our aim is to make a difference on Thanksgiving Day by providing a hot meal to thousands of Bahamians throughout the land and breadth of our country.
As children take to the pools through the BSGC Community Swim Program, organizers are already preparing for what has become the initiative's signature event, its annual Thanksgiving Day feeding drive. With a goal of reaching thousands of Bahamians, Bahamas Striping Group of companies says the mission is made possible through the support of corporate partners, including Braun, Bank of the Bahamas, and Insurance Management, all of whom say investing in the community is an investment worth making.
Year after year, we've been able to support them in this program. We'd like to commend them for, first of all, starting this program.
We are pleased to support this effort, which reflects our shared commitment to strengthening communities.
We see it as our duty, almost our obligation to give back, much like the principals of Bahamas Striping have done.
But the partnership does not just lie within corporate Bahamas. Cleveland Aeneas Primary and Queens College have joined the road to touching the hearts of the vulnerable.
Some of them expressing this was the first time some of their children had a Thanksgiving meal that made all of the hard work and effort that went into planning and executing it so rewarding for us.
We'll be able to engage youth and students to be able to come on board and see what it is like to give back to those in need.
Now, despite Thanksgiving being months away, officials say they are calling on more companies to join the initiative and remember the true reason for the celebration.
When we look at Thanksgiving, Thanksgiving is considered to be a day of giving thanks and also being grateful.
And I'd just like to encourage everybody who has not yet been approached
We are wide open to additional sponsors, additional assistance with regards to preparing meals.
Linton Ritchie Jr., Eyewitness News.
Well, 4th of July celebrations kicked off at the U.S. Embassy last week, and the presence of the country that has served as a longtime partner and ally to the Bahamas continues to be felt. A showcase depicting historic U.S. periods and figures are now on display at the Nassau Cruise Ports Gallery. U.S. Ambassador Herschel Walker toured the gallery Wednesday and says he was pleased to see the fusion of Bahamian and American culture on display, with Junkanoo groups like the Saxon Superstars and roots crafting popular U.S. monuments.
Just to see how they put that together in such a short time.
Walker says since beginning his tenure at the U.S. Embassy last year, the truth that the American dream can be lived right here in the country has become clear, a truth he says he's proud to embrace as his home country acknowledges 250 years of independence.
Even here, you can have the America's dream or the Bahamas dream. What I mean by that is you can do whatever you want to do, be whoever you want to be. All you got to do is just work at it. These are two countries here that give you that opportunity. You just work at it. You can be whatever you want to do. You can have your freedom of speech, your freedom of religion. There's not too many countries have that. And that's what I wrote is you can have the America's dream right here. That's what the 25th anniversary means to me.
Well, still to come in Eyewitness News, we are continuing the road to 53 years of independence with our Laurencia Smith and the Bahamian Dream. But first, here's a check on tonight's weather forecast.
Welcome back to another episode of The Movement, your energy and transport briefing. Today, I'm stepping into the shoes of a crossing guard. Let's see how it goes.
Hey, stop the car. Put the window down. Listen, there's two stop signs through this corner. One at the end of the corner and this. You gotta respect both. You hear me, sir? Let's go, keep rolling, don't let it happen again. Every day, crossing guards are up and on duty way before you even get up to start your day. And today, I'm gonna spend the day with them, rested and double vested, to see what it takes to keep our kids and our streets safe. Let him go.
I've been doing this now for about 6 months now, and what made me want to become a crossing patrol officer is the love for the children, to protect the children, the safety of the children. I've noticed that everybody is always in a heat and rush, and they don't have the full understanding of what is the importance of us doing this job. The importance of us doing this job is for the safety of our children. Good.
That's your $5. You need that?
I have kids of my own, and they're very grown, so to come back out here and help these children along the way and be a mentor, to be somebody that inspires the children is very, very rewarding for me.
As a crossing patrol officer, one of the most important things that you need to know, and that is paramount, is that our kids come first. And the ultimate goal, once again, is the safety of our kids in crossing our streets. Early in the morning, you have high traffic.
We gotta go. Let's go, we gotta go.
The most difficult part is being able to create a gap within the traffic so that we can safely navigate our kids across the streets.
Driver, please stop your car. You're trying to see the kids cross from there and far. Driver, when you see this, then stop. Because if you don't stop, then your car could drop in a pothole. And like you say, see, I tell you slow down because the children got to get in the schoolyard.
When the craving hits, there's only one thing everybody agrees on. Hot, crispy, Wendy's chicken tenders. Made to satisfy every bite. Whether it's served as a slider or wrap, it's always perfectly seasoned, perfectly crunchy, and always cooked fresh. From lunch with friends to family moments worth sharing. For chicken tenders you're gonna know by name, gotta be Wendy's.
You're watching Eyewitness News.
Welcome back. As the Bahamas marks another milestone in its journey as a nation, questions are being raised about what the Bahamian dream truly means today. Tonight, our Laurencia Smith is joining me live from Parliament Square with the details. Laurencia?
That's right, Janelle. I'm here in Parliament Square, the place where some may argue has helped shape the narrative behind the Bahamian dream. Now, growing up, many of us were taught that getting an education, becoming a homeowner, venturing into entrepreneurship, ensuring that you live a comfortable life was the Bahamian dream. Now, Janelle, over the years, we've seen that dream shift because it's been influenced by a number of things: economics, the internet, and the times that we're living in post-COVID-19. However, many of the persons that we spoke to today feels as if, despite those changes and despite the hurdles we're facing, the Bahamian dream is alive and well.
It's gone up, mortgages has gone up, but yet we still are able to do it.
Like it's struggling a little bit, but I believe that there is hope for a better tomorrow as long as we have persons who will not give up on this Bahamas.
Now, some say that the Bahamian dream is rooted in a simple belief that hard work can lead to opportunities and financial success. And a major definer of that success has been home ownership. But with the increasing costs and demands, this gold standard has seamlessly faded into the background, as many believe that it is a feat possibly no longer attainable. Economist Therese Turner-Jones says that it's not impossible, but definitely difficult.
So for young people, just first job to say, I want to own a house in a few years. They're saying that the average Bahamian now needs about 5 years to build up savings to buy a property or to buy a house.
And with the Bahamas just 1 week away from celebrating its 53rd independence, some residents say they no longer have faith in the so-called Bahamian dream, describing it as what was once a goalpost, feeling more like a fantasy.
To be honest, I think it's reachable for plenty of people, for the majority of us, because the cost of living and the cost of property.
That you know, back in my Grammy can make a call to this person, that person, the dream is dead. And as the Bahamian dream continues to evolve, Turner-Jones says the dream has potential, but argues that greater value can be realized by tapping into the country's biodiversity.
For the Bahamian dream to be realized, we need to figure out how every Bahamian can lock into 1 or 2 or 3 parts of our economic assets and say, what can I do to help realize my own dream?
For me, as I move forward, I hope that the Bahamian dream continues to evolve and continue to be filled with endless opportunities as we continue to move forward in our great history. Laurencia Smith, live from Parliament Square.
All right, thank you, Laurencia. Still to come in Eyewitness News, our Laurencia Smith is back after this with the latest on sports.
Tasha, what you saying? Right here, rushing to catch J.S. Johnson. I gotta renew my insurance.
Oh, I with JSJ too, but I don't wait in line. I just pay online.
Stop it. How you do that?
Just email info@jsjohnson.com and say, sign me up for the online service center. They'll reach out and hook you up. You ain't never have to stand in line again.
Amen to that.
Save time. Pay online. Sign up for J.S. Johnson's online service center today.
Insurance, peace of mind. Tourism today. Bahamas tourism today.
At the arrival of Bahamas Air's inaugural flight to Cat Island, Minister of Tourism, the Honorable Glenys Hannah Martin, spoke to the significance of this newest route within the islands of the Bahamas.
Well, we are celebrating the inaugural flight of Bahamas Air Nassau Cat Island off this town, the first time in 26 years, and which is really an incredible thing to contemplate. But this has so much meaning now in terms of creating the accessibility and the linkages for tourism, for business, for social realities, families. This is a very, very important moment. And I think it's one we're not going to forget, because I believe that Cat Island will not be the same after this. I mean, in terms of its vitality, but it will be the same in terms of its extremely rich and beautiful culture. It's beautiful people, it's wonderful cuisine, it's exceptional music, rake and scrape, that won't change. But the ability to access those things is going to change after today. Stopover visitors who stay 4 to 7 days, 3 to 7 days, they spend in excess of $2,700 per visit. And so that is where your real value is. And so our thrust and our focus is on building those numbers. And as it turns out, this year has seen an increase over last year of 3% of stopover visits. So what we are seeing now is movement in the right direction in terms of how we want to build a tourism market, because the stopover visitor, by their spend, touch more people in their respective places. So this is where our focus is. It has to be done with great intentionality.
For more tourism updates, visit Tourism Today or Bahamas.com. I'm Michael Miller, and this is Tourism Today.
Eyewitness Sports is brought to you by 103.5 The Beat. Welcome to another edition of Eyewitness Sports. I'm Laurencia Smith. Thanks for joining us. Kicking things off in sports tonight, the men's national basketball team has wrapped up its training camp over at the University of Miami as it prepares for an intense upcoming home game in the final window of the first round of the 2027 FIBA Basketball World Cup Americas qualifiers. The team will face off against Jamaica Friday night, followed by a matchup on Monday against Puerto Rico. Both games taking place over at the Kendall Jill Isaacs Gymnasium. Veteran big man Jerron Kino-Barrow says the group has been steadily building chemistry in recent days as the squad continues to take shape ahead of competition.
Hey, so far it's been one of the best camps we've ever had. Got guys in here on Friday. We really started working collectively and individually, and build it up to the scrimmage against the University of Miami today, where we really got some good footage. Of course, the coaches can go back. We can continue to clean up the mistakes and build on the good stuff, man, and just continue to build chemistry and put this team together. But it's just a part of the culture we've been building, man. It's beautiful to watch now. You see the NBA guys giving back to the overseas guys, passing down knowledge and experience to the college guys, passing down to the high school guys, and now it's the culture of Bahamas basketball, man. And I've been around a long time. And, now to see us regularly getting, these type of talented teams on the court, it's no question that the Bahamas is one of the teams to reckon with in the world.
While the Bahamas Basketball Federation has yet to confirm the final 12-man roster, the team is expected to be headlined by its core NBA talent, including big man DeAndre Ayton, rookie VJ Edgecombe, sharpshooter Buddy Hield, and combo guard Eric Gordon. The Bahamas is looking to make a strong statement on the home soil as qualification action continues. We'll be there to bring you all of the highlights from both matchups. Team Bahamas is heading home with a podium finish with a strong showing at the 2026 Caribbean Amateur Junior Golf Championships down in the Dominican Republic. The 14-member junior squad delivered a steady competitive performance across the 13 and under through 18 and under divisions to secure a third place overall in the regional tournament. 242 arrived on Sunday in the DR with one mission, and to contend for top honors and bring home championship hardware back to the 242. In the individual results, standout performance helped anchor the team effort. In the under-13 girl division, Zaria Poitier finished third. In the under-15 girls category, Alyssa Robinson claimed third, while Haley Hall secured a runner-up finish. The squad was guided by head coach Keno Turnquest, assisted by Frederick Taylor, and managed by Gina Gonzalez, who praised the team for their efforts and resilience through the demanding week of competition down in the Dominican Republic. Well, congratulations to the young golfers from us here at Eyewitness Sports. Well, that's a quick look at sports at this hour. I'm Laurencia Smith. Stay tuned for more news on the other side of the break.
This year, Island Luck Sportsbook sent one of their very own customers all the way to San Antonio to watch Game 5 of the NBA Finals. The Knicks closed it out right then and there. No Game 6, no Game 7. Our customer was sitting in that arena the night the championship was decided. That's the kind of luck we talking about at Island Luck Sportsbook. Winners live here. Must be 18 and over. Island Luck reminds you that it's only a game, so please game responsibly.
Welcome to Paradise Premium Foods, where exceptional taste meets everyday convenience. Right in the heart of Hurricane Hole Plaza, whether you're planning a beachside brunch, an intimate dinner, or simply restocking your favorites, we offer only the finest selection of local and imported goods, handpicked for quality, freshness, and flavor. At Paradise Premium Foods, shopping is effortless, service is personal, and every visit feels like a treat. From gourmet meals to go to organic essentials and indulgent treats, this is your neighborhood market elevated. Live well, eat better. Discover Paradise Premium Foods, now open at Hurricane Hole Plaza, Paradise Island. Paradise Premium Foods. Taste the difference.
Edenwell has expanded their testing menu. We now offer blood work, drug screening, and so much more. Our hours of operation are Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m., and Saturday, 8 a.m. to 1 p.m., located on 11 Madera Street. We are here for all of your laboratory needs, with fast and reliable lab work done by our friendly and knowledgeable staff. Let us help you take the needed steps to stay in the know about your health. Let's keep working towards a healthier you. Stay Eden well.
You're watching Eyewitness News.
Next week on July 9th, join Verizon Media Group along with the Eyewitness News team, 103.5 The Beat, Eye on the Nation, and Beyond the Headlines at our blood drive being held right here at ILTV Studios from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. as we do our part to help assist in tackling the shortage of blood at the country's blood bank. We hope to see you all join us next week right before Independence Day for this community event. And coming up in Beyond the Headlines with Shanique Miller, a very special dissection of today's top stories and some surprise guests. That's coming up in Beyond the Headlines. That starts right after this, and that does it for us at Eyewitness News. It's certainly been a pleasure having you in our company tonight. On behalf of the entire news team, I'm Janelle Longley saying goodnight.
Wealth should not only belong to a select few. At Investar, we believe the door should be open to everyone. We provide options for planning a better future. Our investment funds are designed to assist you in reaching your long-term financial goals. Let us show you how.
We all know there are ways we can help. Your help can go even further. Be an everyday superhero. Donate to Hands for Hunger.
So you want a space. But not just any space. You need something with a little more potential. So how about 1,000 square feet of room to play with? Superb audio and video production capability, digital LED wall, full lighting grid, and about 124 seats to accommodate a full studio audience with so many other features. Make us your home for your next concert, conference, and so much more. Honestly, the possibilities are endless. Here at ILTV Studios, we'd love to bring your next event to life. So what do you say? Do you want our space?
The thoughts, views, and comments expressed by the hosts, guests, callers, and advisors on Beyond the Headlines are not necessarily those of the management, ownership, or production unit of ILS, the Verizon Media Group. Beyond the Headlines is a production of ILTV Studios and cannot be represented in part or entirety without the express written consent of the Verizon Media Group. Beyond the Headlines is the intellectual property of the Verizon Media Group. Copyright 2026. All rights reserved.
Coming up tonight, police seized 19 Ziploc bags of Rice Krispies treats. Were children the target for the edibles? We hear what the police found and how it all played out. Meanwhile, police are warning parents to be mindful of the games on the streets this summer as it relates to edibles and more. And later tonight, the Youth Empowerment Program, YEP, has wrapped its 2025-2026 program. How impactful was this year's program? And some of the top performers from this program this year. They join me. This is Beyond the Headlines. Good evening. I'm Shanique Miller. It's great to have you along this evening. Well, the Drug Enforcement Unit has arrested 6 adults for possession of marijuana-infused edibles. The edibles of choice, Rice Krispie Treats, a sweet treat made out of the Rice Krispies cereal. The edibles were packaged as if preparing to sell or distribute and has a street value of $380. I'll tell you that. It's quite worrisome, quite frankly, in that these are the summer months. Kids are out and about, roaming communities, riding bikes, doing vulnerable really to anything. And this is where we're going to begin this evening, right there. Welcome to Beyond the Headlines contributors, Ellington Ferguson and Howard Johnson. Gentlemen, good evening to both of you. Welcome to Beyond the Headlines.
Good evening, Shanique. Good evening, Bahamas. Good evening, Howard. Certainly, it's a pleasure to be here.
Good evening, Shanique. Good evening, Ellington. And good evening, Bahamas.
Gentlemen, this is quite, we have seen what's been happening on school campuses where kids have gotten their hands on edibles. Groups of them at a time have had to be rushed to the emergency room because of this. And now today, we see police have made this discovery and subsequent arrests. Your thoughts on, one, how people who are meaning to do harm and obviously get kids involved in introducing them to drugs through edibles are going to these lengths? Because Rice Krispie treats are one of those very innocent looking treats that you don't necessarily think about.
This is one of the most unfortunate things when you have people and persons like this running in this business of drug running that seeks to secure the future of their business, because if you can if we as parents can get our kids not to go down that path, that kind of kill that whole business. And so these people are deliberately attracting our kids and our children and trying to get our children hooked on these things. And once they get hooked on these things, it begins to damage their brains. It's one thing to talk about the benefits of marijuana for medicine. It's another thing when you're having the abuse of it. And when you start taking these drugs and giving them to children, that's abuse. When you start using it without using it for proper the medicinal value, then that's the abuse of anything. And the abuse of anything is what is the problem. And this is very unfortunate. I've seen this play out for years. It's happened before. And now you can see the people, like the police said, they continue to do it to wreak havoc on the innocent young minds of our children. We had, I think it was last year, sometime where a whole group of children had to be taken to the hospital from school.
More than once.
Exactly. And so we need to really, really deal with this, deal with these people that is trying to profiteer from this. It's a shame. It's a disgrace, quite frankly.
Howard,
yeah, and Shanique, go ahead.
Yeah, I wanted Ellington mentioned about the dangers of it and introducing it to kids so soon, but also the use of unsupervised of this drug
for such young kids.
Yeah, and Shanique, the thing about it is, when I saw the story, it talked about a couple who was first arrested by the cops, right? A young couple, a male and a female, and with those two persons was a child. Now, I don't know what the age of the child was, but this child could have gotten their hands on one of these treats.
Yeah,
and we don't know
had the
what
same
could have
thoughts,
happened, right?
Howard. When I saw it,
Exactly.
Howard, I had the same thoughts. Like, wait a minute, a kid was around?
A kid was around, and that is appalling, and it's very disgusting, and it just goes to show the lengths at which people will be irresponsible to conduct themselves in illegal activities to make a dollar. And what I want, though, Shanique, for parents to understand is, while you do, as summer approaches, there's not going to be the daily structure and supervision of teachers and school personnel. And so now the full responsibility for supervision, it's going to be up to parents who we know still have to go to work and make ends meet, right? So a lot of the time, these kids are going to be in camps, and quite frankly, many of them are going to be at home unsupervised. So what parents need to do is have direct, age-appropriate conversations with their kids and let them know that, hey, there are some treats and snacks out there that may look like the actual real snacks, but they aren't. So we have to be very careful with what we take. Don't take anything from friends. Don't take anything that doesn't look like the regular packaging. And you have to really have these conversations and vet the snacks. So this is basically a snack vetting rule, right, that you're doing with your kids. And this is one of the ways that we have to make sure that we protect our kids from this evil stuff that's going on out here.
You're right, and it's unfortunate because, for a minute now, we really were told not to eat from strangers, but even more so now. But kids are so unsuspecting. You imagine them riding the neighborhood on their bikes and
Yes.
various other toys.
Yeah.
And here it is, someone offers them a snack to be mischievous and whatever else it is. And imagine selling the kid this piece of treat. But it really is something that parents must now insist. If you don't know the person, in fact, anyone outside of a very, very close relative who offers you something that is unwrapped, that has been taken from something and put in something else, do not accept it.
Yeah, and Shanique, this is not just mischievous, this is diabolical. And I hope these persons are prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law, because when you're talking about drug-laced treats, like what they call them now, Rice Krispie treats.
Rice Krispies.
Mm-hmm. You're targeting kids.
You're targeting kids. Yeah, because Howard, even thank you, because I was about to say, even teens who are more mature teens will not be interested in a Rice Krispie treat, will not accept it. So the target is for kids. The target is for the 8-year-old who is out there riding his bike, the 8-year-old girl who is doing whatever it is she's doing. This is the target, and so you're right, this is diabolical, and thank God they were taken into custody, and we await to see exactly where this goes. Meanwhile, Howard and Ellington, the police are now warning parents. How can parents bring themselves up to today's world and the evil that is out there, sometimes the intentional mischief in the form of these edibles and other things that people are trying to lure their kids into?
I think, Shanique, like Howard alluded to, you have got, especially when your kids start to break into teenage and they would begin to interact with the outside world, even away from your presence, you've got to teach them about the police showed you certain things to look for on these packaging. We got to kind of open up their minds to these things, to the danger of what it does to you, and so that our kids will begin to look at certain things or look for certain things on these packaging and to protect themselves. We must equip them and prepare them to kind of take care of themselves when they're away from us.
Yeah, and Shanique, again, with the communication, right? We are growing our kids up in a world now where we have to have the good versus the bad conversations, right? And so we can put it in the religious context. We always talk about God and the devil and the angels and the demons. And so we have to drill down on that, and we have to let our kids know that there are good people and there are bad people. Now, what's tricky is when you see someone coming with a snack, an unsuspecting and unknowing kid would always be would more than likely be disarmed when an adult or an older person gives them a snack. That's a sign of friendliness, a kind gesture, right? So again, having those appropriate upfront frank conversations with our kids and saying, look, everybody that comes to you that appears to be nice and smiling and want to give you a snack or give you a treat doesn't necessarily have to be a nice person with the best intentions, and what they give you can actually harm you.
Absolutely. Now, I want to ask you both, if you both look, this story, by the way, of course, you saw it in the newscast, but it has also, since earlier today, been posted on Eyewitness News online. The responses from people who read the story and are, I mean, absolutely demonizing the police is even more shocking, because obviously it's them who do not understand what the significance of this is. In fact, and what the fact that it can be very dangerous and ugly, because when the Rice, you pointed out so well, the Rice Krispie treats are for kids. And so if you are targeting kids as your market, and you don't understand, as whomever you are responding to this story online, and you are there vilifying the police and saying there are more serious crimes for you to go after. People are speeding every day, this and that. You all are the people, and we know that. So we have pushed that as well. Yes, go after the serious crime, but you want petty drug dealers to be able to just get away with, because it's weed, because it grows from the ground, and because it's not harmless. Let them sell it to your kid.
Go ahead, Ali. All right. So Shanique, here's the thing, right? I don't understand what is wrong with some of our people, right? But here's the thing: you're looking at little kids, like you said. We're talking about 7 and 8-year-olds, 5 and 6-year-olds, right? I'm not a medical doctor, but we all have common sense. These children, their organs and stuff are still underdeveloped, right? And so with ingesting the right amounts or the wrong amounts of these drug-laced edibles can cause serious medical harm to these kids. I mean, and even death. So you can't say that the police should go after more serious crimes, because giving a kid a treat that can affect them internally in terms of their organs and their health can lead to a serious crime such as death.
As well as their
so
mental...
let's take the preventative measures.
Yeah, as well as their mental health.
Until something bad happens.
Yeah, we have heard of adults who marijuana being just sort of hit them in, I guess, the wrong way, and they had some sort of psychotic experience, Ellington.
But Shanique, when I read the comments below that article, I was both appalled and it was also scary for me. Appalled that adults think that it's okay that kids can take little treats and snacks infused with marijuana, not properly prepared, has all of the THC and all of the damaging stuff that damages your brain. I mean, and the silly comments about other things, like a cup of ginger tea is worse than, get them more higher than a smoke of marijuana. The concern for me is, wow, so these people are some of the parents of some of the children that we see in some of our schools with some of the issues. Maybe this is what these children are ingesting. Maybe their brains are already damaged. And that's why we see the kind of issues that we're having among young children in school and teenagers, is because these damage are being inflicted from the homes, some of these same homes where they think it's okay, I smoke marijuana, I think it's good, it's okay for me to either give my kids a joint or give them some gummies or give them some marijuana treats. It is very scary, very scary. Yes. And I think the police need to send out a warning even for those who think that it's okay for them to have these things, not to give it to children, whether it's your children or strange children.
Absolutely. By the way, of course, we talked about the couple who were arrested as they were spotted out in the western area of New Providence. They were a 24-year-old man and a 23-year-old woman. Meanwhile, when they got to the house on Graham Drive in Yellow Elder, 4 additional guys were arrested, and their ages are 18, another one was 18, 27, and 48. They too were taken into custody. Again, these are Rice Krispie treats, edibles, have a street value of $380. The people also say, and what is $380? The police ain't really have nothing to do with it. I tell you, Interesting responses, I'll tell you that for sure. Meanwhile, gentlemen, banking fees. We've talked about banking fees. We've talked about how you're being encouraged to do or perhaps told to do every bit of your banking online. And there's a fee for that, up to $18+ that you are being taxed for that. But the second half of 2025 showed that banking fees have increased, with customers paying higher fees for many everyday banking services. Now, this, of course, came from the Central Bank of the Bahamas and their latest cost analysis and comparability on bank fees. This is what they produced and talked about, something else that we focused on today here at Eyewitness News. Gentlemen, I'll tell you, with so much or less in-house banking happening, where you go and stand on the line and be able to speak with somebody and get things done, and versus being redirected to the ATM, to hear that fees have gone up, you almost ask why? Why and what, to think of perhaps alternative measures?
Well, Shanique, I think the banks in the Bahamas, each day they are learning that they can get away with doing more and more for themselves and less for the Bahamian public that they're supposed to be serving. And I've heard several persons spoke to this issue. I've heard the Honorable Frederick Mitchell spoke to this on several occasions. And I think during his term in office, I heard Dr. Minnis spoke to it. There's nothing, it seems like no government, no political leadership is really looking to touch this. I mean, the fees are becoming astronomical, and banks are realizing that, hey, we can get away with charging all these fees. We don't even need to be giving these folks no loans to help them or to advance them, or no business loans and all that type of stuff. We can get away with fees. You cannot save $100 in the bank. You cannot. I've done it before. I put $100 in the account and I left it there for a few months. When I went back, I owed the bank $9.
No way.
I owed the bank $9.
In a few months, the $100 was gone?
I owed the bank $9. Okay? You pay to put it in, you pay to keep it there, and then you pay if you take it out.
You pay to think about the bank. When you think that, okay, you want to go to the bank and make a deposit or with whatever it is, when you think about that, they say, yeah, they thinking.
There's a fee on every transaction. There's a fee. You put it in, there's a fee. You leave it there, there's a fee.
You use the ATMs, so outside of that traditional dollar that it used to be to use an ATM, okay, fine, ATM fees. But even those now, so the more you do, the more you fees you are paying.
Saving account doesn't even apply because it's not. They're constantly cutting that down. You only bank because you have to, and it's the way for you to do business and do things. It's very difficult, especially trying to operate a small business in this country. It's crazy. It's ridiculous.
Well, what Ellington is highlighting is a serious issue, Shanique, and it's so ironic that what's happening here is this. If you or Ellington put on a ski mask and grab a little pistol or something and go in the bank and hold them up with robbery, that's going to be 10 to 15 years at BDOCS, right? However, we look at what's happening here in this article, right? Well, the bank's doing the same thing. Only thing is they're doing it in code suit. They ain't using no mask. They are robbing us, and they're getting 10 to 15 as well. But they're not getting 10 to 15 years. They're getting 10 to 15 extra dollars. That's what they're getting from us.
Absolutely.
But when I look at this situation, right, Shanique, it really highlights two significant things that are very sad. The first thing is, we know that the banks are migrating, doing a digital migration, right? And I understand that. We do that here in the United States. I mean, you do most of your banking and everything online. That's the way that the world is going. The technological adoption is going to continue to proliferate. I understand that, but the fees are the problem. So when I look at this article, what's happening is that the vulnerable are being penalized because the banking fees are lower when you use the digital banking, right? And so what does this mean? If you are digitally literate, and if you have access to the internet, you can use the digital banking, which is the cheaper option. Now, for those people who are senior citizens, low income, or living in like rural areas where there's not really much internet, you are left having to utilize the physical and the paper stuff that you were talking about at the top of the segment, Shanique, that costs astronomically more. So people who are vulnerable are going to be penalized because the only thing they can do is use the more expensive option that is fee-based. And then the second thing is what I would call essential events of targeting. In that article, it said that the checking accounts saw the biggest increase. I think it was 21%, saw the biggest increase in fees, the checking accounts. Now, the adult checking accounts. And these adults on these checking accounts are the people who do what? Who are working and who have to pay rent and who have to pay bills. So this is exploitative and it is intentional because you cannot do without these accounts where they raise the fees the most because that's the way you have to pay your bills.
That's the way you have to pay bills.
That's the way you have to pay your bills.
And get things done. You're absolutely right. I mean, that's sort of the way the world has just trended, and we've all had to catch up and adjust. As simple as that. Now, you know, in Ellington, you mentioned that lawmakers have spoken on this time and time again. Why is it that nobody can seem to actually, and I'm talking specifically the banking fees, how can no one actually address it? Now, I'm not even talking about the interest rate. That's a different matter entirely, that you get on your monies. You heard Ellington say he had $100 in the bank and went back a couple of months later and he owed the bank $9. And so, but how is it that these fees, these astronomical fees, have not been able to sort of be addressed?
Shanique, the strange thing about it is, I'm not sure what's going on, what the protection is, but our political directorates, some of them recognize this, and like I mentioned earlier, spoke to it, but there is no movement from that group of people who I think has the power of all first to look into this and to speak to it, if not completely address it. And there seems to be like it's guarded, it's protected. Nobody wants to touch it. Thank God for the brave persons that have touched it several times.
Yeah, but to no avail, Howard.
To no avail.
Well, Shanique, in my estimation, there can be several things, but you have to look at the fact that, politicians have spoken to it, but for whatever reason, they don't have the political will or the political capital to make something happen. One has to surmise that there is a somewhat of an incestuous relationship that's going on with corporate Bahamas and the political elite. So, these people run in the same circles. They have caviar and stuff together. They pour money into certain person's campaign or even into political parties outright. And so when you do those things and you live in the air up there and you exist and play in the air up there, there are certain things that the regular Bahamians like us are just going to have to bite the bullet on, quite frankly. So this cat is going to be a little more difficult to belt, like Hubert Ingram used to say, belt that cat. This cat is going to take a little longer to belt, especially if what I believe is going on, and I don't mean to be cynical, is actually going on.
Well, interesting, Howard. I'd like to know what it is you think is going on. Gentlemen, I'll tell you, teacher shortage. We know that we are just really into the summer now, and the semester is just wrapped up, but Chester Cooper, Minister of Education, Deputy Prime Minister, appears to really be out front, lobbying already to ensure that come the new school year, that this is not the issue that it oftentimes is. Very, very quickly, because we have to wrap up right now, maybe if you each can just talk about his proactive step that he's taking in speaking to it and urging teachers to return.
I think, Shanique, the Honorable Chester Cooper is one of those high energy minister. I've seen him moving and working in tourism in his former ministry. I think he's bringing that same energy into education, and it's interesting to see how it's all going to play out.
Yeah, and Shanique, I think this is a great time, proactive move. School is just about to close, and so he's just getting, a good jump on it. I'm interested to see where they're going to source these teachers from. It's good that they're asking some of the teachers who may be sitting on the sidelines right now or doing something else and not in teaching, how they're going to recruit them. What are the incentives that they're going to use to get them to come back into the profession? And some of the recent retirees, to get them to come back for a few years until this situation is sorted out. But I think being early is the best thing to do.
It is, absolutely is. Of course, we will obviously, we always monitor the opening of a new school year in any event. So we will see how this all paid off and worked out for the Minister of Education. Meanwhile, though, I thank you very much. Ellington Ferguson here, Howard Johnson there. Thank you both very, very much. Excellent analysis, spot on perspectives, and just a wonderful hot topic segment. But don't go anywhere, because when this show returns, I'm going to focus on youth and the youth of YEP. Beyond the Headlines is back right after this.
Hey, it's your boy Charlie Bahama here at Superwash, Superwash's newest spokesmodel, and I'm here to tell you about Superwash's large capacity washers and dryers for all your big loads.
I know I see that Charlie Banana coming here just now.
Uh-oh, luckily it's also big enough for me to hide it.
I thought he was right over here where these large capacity washer and dryers is. They're big enough now to handle your big loads, Yeah, like your comfort on your blanket. But just look at us. Somebody forget to turn on the dryer. Oh, stop! You hear something? Yeah, that's the sound of clean. Superwash washes you, process you, and entertains you 24/7.
This year, Island Luck Sportsbook sent one of their very own customers all the way to San Antonio to watch Game 5 of the NBA Finals. The Knicks closed it out right then and there. No Game 6, no Game 7. Our customer was sitting in that arena the night the championship was decided. That's the kind of luck we talking about at Island Luck Sportsbook. Winners live here. Must be 18 and over. Island Luck reminds you that it's only a game, so please game responsibly.
Wealth should not only belong to a select few. At InvestStar, we believe the door should be open to everyone. We provide options for planning a better future. Our investment funds are designed to assist you in reaching your long-term financial goals. Let us show you how.
Well, in this segment of the show, we're shifting to some good news about young people. And I'm so happy to do that after the week and the weekend and then the week to this point that we have had. And so we hope to put a smile on your face and have you feel a bit warm and optimistic when you meet these people, these enrollees of the YEP program. You will know more about that in a moment, but they've been doing amazing work. And I'm happy to feature them tonight and tomorrow night. And so the Youth Empowerment Program, YEP, is into its 14th year. The program is a leadership and life skills initiative that equips young people in the Bahamas on tools to succeed in school, their careers, and in life. The latest enrollees were highlighted and recognized during a graduation ceremony this week. Now, Devonte Hanna, you know him for sometimes sitting right here or telling the news. Well, he is a volunteer with the YEP program, and happy to highlight this year's outstanding performers. Devonte, good evening to you. Welcome to Beyond the Headlines. It's good to have you here.
It's always a pleasure, Shani.
I know many times when we speak in the newsroom, you talk about the program and,
Yes.
and where you all are at and the various focuses for the because it's sort of like obviously put into phases and little groupings throughout the year. So let's just kind of lay the foundation first. Tell us about the YEP program. We know it's in year 14, but obviously the excitement and the energy is still there.
Yeah, so the Youth Empowerment Program is a holistic skills building program for students in grades 9 through 12. And it's actually a 30-week program that runs parallel to the high school calendar year,
Oh,
right?
so basically a year.
A year. So we've been with these students since October, but of course, like recruitment and all of that began in September once they went back to school, and it continued straight into May when we ended the year. And then on Tuesday past, we just awarded some of our top students at our awards presentation ceremony. And of course, those students would have been named Student of the Year, most outstanding 12th grade of the year, 11th grade of the year. But really throughout the year, we've been teaching these students so much about skills as it relates to marketing themselves or branding themselves. There was a time where I taught students about voting in the Bahamas, which was particularly interesting because we were actually going through the election process as well. There was also a time where we taught them about artificial intelligence, and we teach them about camping, and we have a camping retreat that happens every year.
So you all are mindful in the YEP program to obviously tweak and retool where necessary,
Yes.
because I heard you mention AI.
Yes.
That's obviously very present and something that's today in the future. And so it's not stagnant is what I'm trying to ask.
Yes, so we have a curriculum that is created every year for these students, right? And we try to revamp it every year because we recognize, as you said, the world is changing. And so when I was in the program some years ago, there was no AI to talk about, right? But now we introduce AI, we introduce a lot more professional skills building for these students, because we recognize in YEP, the best student is a versatile student. So you're going to be able to get
Yes.
a little bit of everything in the program.
Yeah, this is really, really awesome. And so, Devontae, I'm excited. Let's
Yeah.
jump in, because we've talked about it throughout the year,
Yeah.
and I just enjoy
And I even
hearing
asked you for a little donation to help us out, right? But you've been gracious, and we thank you so much for welcoming us on the show.
I
But
try,
yeah.
and I know it's a latest donation now. So yes, now
Yeah.
I understand I have to now give towards this donation.
Yeah.
tell you.
You know, our students, they work hard throughout the year, and a lot of it is supported by volunteers. I myself, I'm a volunteer, right? And so it's unpaid. And so we come to these sessions every week where we sit with these students for 2 hours per week, and we pour ourselves into them. And obviously that goes beyond just sitting there talking. You know, sometimes you on the phone with them when they're going through a crisis. They may get into an accident or something. They call you, just need to talk to you, but also you're pouring into your finances into them as well. You're also pouring into them those professional skills that you picked up along the way into them as well, because the end goal of YEP is to create productive citizens of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
Which is so needed.
Yeah,
we absolutely see that.
And they say that every week in the YEP pledge, right? I'm not going to say the YEP pledge, but but they say they want to become productive citizens of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, and that is our goal. And so we do anything that is necessary to ensure that once they leave this program, they can contribute to society in a meaningful way. You know, when we have students who have passed through the program that have gone on to get master's degrees, that have gone on to get PhDs, that are now on the police force, that are now making their way, like me, in journalism, you know, that are spreading their wings across the length and breadth of the Bahamas and even internationally. And that's what we want to do as volunteers. Every single year we get in a new crop of students. We're going to continue working with them and help them and push them to be the best they can possibly be.
What makes this 2026 graduating class and even the enrollees for this 2025, 2026 year so outstanding in your opinion?
All right, so it wasn't necessarily a graduating class because we have students from grade 9 to 12, but the awards presentation ends the year, right? For me, what's so special about the year is not only is it my first year as a volunteer, but a lot of my students from Southwest One actually walked away with top awards. And you're gonna meet some of the students who were spread across the program who won those top awards on Tuesday night. So we have the Student of the Year Award, which is the big award of the night, and then you also have the grade level award. So there's a 9th, 10th, 11th grade of the year award. There's also a officer of the year award, and then we also award students who are most improved throughout the program. So those are the students who may not be up for the big awards, but we've seen the steady improvement over the year, and we have an overall most improved student. We have shining stars, rising stars, and then we also have a memorial award that is awarded to not only the most improved student, not the most improved student, but to a student that goes above and beyond the call of duty, and also for a volunteer as well.
So it's obviously academically it's doing that, but
Yes.
it's those key wonderful intangibles that make life and a society so much better.
Yes.
Last evening on this show we talked about how the Japanese rear their youth, and from kindergarten age they are instilling life skills.
Yes.
And they're teaching them how to be respectful and how to understand what life is all about. This is incredible what you're doing.
And that is what we do every single week. We teach them those life skills, the little small stuff like when you walk into a room, you need to introduce yourself correctly. When you sit down to a table, ladies, you need to cross your feet at the ankle. Gentlemen, you need to have
ankles,
right.
yes.
Gentlemen, you need to have a firm handshake. You know, we teach, and then also one of the things that I absolutely love about the program is that we also every year we have a speech competition, and every student has to participate in that speech competition at the district level. And we know that public speaking is one of those skills that many people can't seem to conquer, right? And so even at the 9th grade level, we are teaching them those skills, and we're bringing in professionals and Toastmasters to come and show them, this is what you need to do. This is how you prepare a speech, because we know once they go to college, there's going to be a time when they have to do a presentation.
All the time,
right?
yes.
We know once if they move into management at their jobs, they're going to have to do presentations. And so this is skills that we're teaching them from early on. And, you know, if you're in the 9th grade and you're in the program, you move straight up to the 12th grade, you have 4 years of that constant practice. And of course, you always can lean on your volunteers, your mentors, advisors in the program as well.
As far as you can see, and obviously you've been with these students since last year, let's just talk about how you've seen these skills make an impact and how it's changed a student who was maybe a little reserved, or a student who wasn't as confident, a student who maybe had issues and needed a bit of polishing.
Yes, so I'll talk about some of my students, right? Because I spend the most time with them. But the student of the year right now, Samia Munnings, who we'll meet, I wouldn't say she's shy, but Samia is one student that you have to push her to go out there, right? She hates public speaking. But I remember this one time we were getting ready for the speech competition. She said, Mr. Hanna, why do I have to do this? I said, you want to be the student of the year, right? And she said, yeah. And she did it, you know, and she did the work, and she did what was necessary, and she came out on top. I'll also talk about another student of mine, Kamigo Pierre. You know, Kamigo was one of those students where he's tethering on the edge. You told me, you know, Mr. Hanna, I ain't really going to school like that. You know, I said, Kamigo, you need to go to school. Kamigo was able to graduate this year.
So he was not interested in attending classes?
No. And I mean, you know, you have those students like that.
Of course,
you know,
absolutely. But it's good to see how YEP has turned him around and caused him to see his education in a way through the right lenses, because it's important. Obviously, we know that it's important to go to school, go through school, obviously graduate, and then be able to move on with your life.
And we like to be there as a safety net to catch these students. You know, some students who may slip through the cracks. For me, I don't necessarily like to focus on the students that I see up and beyond and doing the best.
Sometimes they need
a little push, but I like to focus a lot of attention on those students who are at risk, you know, that we commonly hear about when the minister speaks about it. You know, I like to push them, get back in school. Let's complete this assignment. If you need help with this, let me know. You know, if you're looking for a job, I don't want you on the streets. I'm going to help you. I'm going to reach out to my bag of contacts and see if I could get you something to do. You know, and it's not just me who's doing that, but the countless of volunteers that are in the program today and those that have been in the program for the last 14 years. I am a product of this program, so I know what it can do, and I know how much it can help a student. And for me, I just felt particularly led to do the same and even go beyond and take it an extra mile to help these students.
What message do you hope that YEP, especially in this cohort, that the graduates take with them, whether they be going to university, to open their own business, to in the workplace, wherever it is their next step is? What do you hope they take from YEP?
So our national theme for this year was embracing excellence. And I want every student to remember that you have to embrace excellence no matter where you go. And we all spoke about it, that excellence doesn't look like being perfect. Excellence is taking those missteps or those mistakes and building upon them, creating a solid foundation for yourself to move on to the next phase of your life, move on to the next period. You know, you have to be in constant growth no matter what you do and where you go. And so hopefully the students that are leaving the program, the 12-year seniors, I'm particularly fond of them. You know, they're my first group of seniors. I love them so much. But, you know, I hope once they enter into the real world, as we call it, enter into the college world, they remember the lessons that they learned, and they remember that their mandate that was set from the first meeting in October was to embrace excellence. I hope that they do that throughout the rest of their lives, really.
Yeah, and you know, Devontae, as you've often sometimes come at the most inappropriate times. Shanique, help out with this, help out with that.
Yeah.
But seriously though, how can parents, teachers, stakeholders, business owners, community leaders, whomever, how can they help out and ensure that YEP stays around for another 50 years, another 100 years, to be this impactful?
Yes.
And turn the lives of young people around so that they move forward in the best light?
Yeah, we like to say at YEP, it takes a village to raise a child, right? We are a part of that village, but also a part of that village is corporate Bahamas. And, you know, you've heard, like you said, I've come to you guys in the newsroom, hey, I need $20 to feed a child. We go in this place and we need to do this, right? But everybody, in order to build a better Bahamas, you have to contribute to the young people that we have now. And so you could reach out to us on Facebook at the Youth Empowerment Program Bahamas. You could also reach out to me. You could reach out to, let me just get the email 1 second. There's a lot of things that have been going on this weekend. You could reach out to the YEP office as well. And obviously, you know, you could go to our website at yepbahamas.org and you can make a contribution there.
Say that a bit slower.
yepbahamas.org, and you could make a contribution there or get in contact with us. And I'm sure if you look into your circle, you may find somebody who is a part of the Youth Empowerment Program. You may find a student who's a part of the Youth Empowerment Program. They can connect you with their district managers, because you could donate to the YEP office, but you could also help a district manager in who directly deals with the kids every week, whether it be like something small like buying them a meal or helping them go somewhere. You know, there's a lot of opportunities for people to come out and help and support.
That's excellent. Now, who are we going to meet after the break?
So we're going to meet Samia Munnings, the Student of the Year 2025-2026, and we're also going to meet Ethan Colbrook. He's an 11th grade student, but a shining star in our program nonetheless. One that I think will do wonders in the next year. He may very well be the Student of the Year next year, but you know, he is gonna talk a little bit about his year and the award that he won.
Awesome, awesome. Looking forward to meeting them. Don't go anywhere. It's a spotlight on the YEP program and the high achievers, the most outstanding students. They all were, but certainly the ones who just went a little above and beyond. We're focusing on them tonight and tomorrow evening. So our first group is right after the break.
Welcome to Paradise Premium Foods, where exceptional taste meets everyday convenience. Right in the heart of Hurricane Hole Plaza, whether you're planning a beachside brunch, an intimate dinner, or simply restocking your favorites, we offer only the finest selection of local and imported goods, handpicked for quality, freshness, and flavor. At Paradise Premium Foods, shopping is effortless, service is personal, and every visit feels like a treat. From gourmet meals to go to organic essentials and indulgent treats, this is your neighborhood market elevated. Live well, eat better. Discover Paradise Premium Foods, now open at Hurricane Hole Plaza, Paradise Island. Paradise Premium Foods. Taste the difference.
Edenwell has expanded their testing menu. We now offer blood work, drug screening, and so much more. Our hours of operation are Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m., and Saturday, 8 a.m. to 1 p.m., located on 11 Madera Street. We are here for all of your laboratory needs, with fast and reliable lab work done by our friendly and knowledgeable staff. Let us help you take the needed steps to stay in the know about your health. Let's keep working towards a healthier you. Stay Eden well.
Yeah. Welcome back to Beyond the Headlines. Our focus on the high achieving youth of the 2025-2026 YEP program continues. And so I'm so happy to welcome to the show Samia Munnings, who is Student of the Year. She was given that honor just on Tuesday evening at the graduation ceremony. And Ethan Colbrook. Ethan is the recipient of the Lionel R.S. Elliott ABCD Memorial Award. Of course, that is for the student who has gone above and beyond this year. And so congratulations to both of you. Welcome to Beyond the Headlines. It's good to have you both here. I'll tell you this, it feels good to say this. Bahamians are super happy to see this display tonight on the show because it gives us hope that every young person in the Bahamas is not sort of lacking focus, that there are many who are doing amazing things and even going and picking up extracurricular activities like YEP to be able to do more and be more focused. What brought you both into or made YEP so appealing for you to become registered in and enrolled in, obviously, and then go through the program? Maybe, Ethan, maybe you can start.
Okay, so for me, I would say I first learned about YEP sometime last year, October. I was doing a project for a cancer group I usually volunteer with, and they were doing their annual bake sale, and I so happened to saw them out there, and they bought something from me, I bought something from them, and I told them, I said, next year I will definitely join YEP, and I fulfilled my promise and joined YEP.
Did it stand out for you to, because you're an 11th grader, even though you won this award, we'll talk about that in a minute, but was it so significant for you that you're going to enroll again and go through your 12th grade?
Yes, definitely.
Really, really super. Now, of course, Samia is the Student of the Year, the graduating student. She also graduated 12th grade just last month, huh?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, last month. How about you? What made YEP so appealing for you?
For me, I've been an attaché of the YEP program for about 14 years, but it was in grade 11 when my friends, they all joined the Youth Empowerment Program, and we all went as a collective.
And you have no regrets, obviously.
No regrets at all.
Now talk about the Student of the Year award. Like, what made you decide you're going to go full out and not just kind of be there and have something to do maybe for an hour on whatever evening it is, but that you're actually going to take advantage of the program?
My hard work, my dedication. I constantly participated throughout the program, showed what a leader should do. So I feel as if that.
Did you grow in that role as well, in that leadership role?
Yes, ma'am.
Did it take a lot to have you to pull something, out of you?
Yes, ma'am. In a way.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Ethan, how about you? You won the Lionel R.S. Elliott ABCD Memorial Award. First of all, tell us a bit about who this person is and this award is named after, and how do you think that it prompted you to go above and beyond?
So this person is a very dedicated person. I would say it's named after them because they never let the obstacles got to them. They always showed up and showed out, and when a speed bump, they would slow down and make sure they get over it successfully, and they wouldn't go too fast or too slow. I would say to receive this award, it was a blessing, and I would also say that people pushed me to actually help me get to this position. So
there's a lot of support in the YEP program
yes.
to really kind of bring out what's in there, and you may be reluctant to initially show it.
That's right. We have great mentors like Mr. Devontae Hanna.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Well, listen, he goes to bat for you all often enough, I tell you. Let's talk about the impact of the YEP program on you both, right? How has YEP influenced your goals and careers, especially you, Samia? You've graduated. I mean, like you now looking at the real world face, like here. How has YEP, you think, prepared you?
Okay, I feel as if the Youth Empowerment Program improves me by helping build my confidence. I feel as if the program shaped me into the individual that I am today. The program taught me leadership and communication skills through discipline and teamwork. Everybody has to come together to make one big goal.
And Ethan, how has the YEP program improved your relationships with peers, with family, with your community?
I would say it's influenced me quite well. Me as a person, I love to stay busy and active and work. And so YEP, they would often host grill outs and bake sales. So it gave me a chance to stay busy and stay active and just stay on the right path. And it would also help me to meet new people along the way, not just stay in my own little circle, but find other people from different areas. And
what do you both want to say to young people? Young people in the Bahamas, generally speaking, don't have the best reputation. What do you want to say to them in terms of YEP, getting involved, enrolling, and also what it is that they can, how will they be benefited, you think?
So I would say that young people nowadays, they probably look to relieve themselves with substances, and they tend to go the wrong route because they don't have the proper channels to help them get through what they're going through. So I would say YEP would be an escape, and we also have people in place to help you, and whatever you're going through, they don't judge you. They sit down, they listen, and they make sure that you get the right help, and they guide you along the way. In terms of school, social life, or even personal life experience, someone is always there for you to help you and be there for you.
Mm-hmm. To back off what Ethan said, you develop leadership skills. The program, you have to show that you are capable and that you wanna do something. You also gain confidence and make lifelong friendships. Like Ethan, I'm sure 5 years from now we'll still be friends. And then you'll also have a chance to experience real world skills that'll help you in your school and future career plans.
I wanted to ask you about that 5 years. Like, where do you see yourself as a result of going through this program? Obviously, you both are great students, just generally. You give that off already. But as a result of what YEP has been able to include in your continuing evolving, what do you think 5 years will look like for you both from now?
So for me, I would say in 5 years, I would hope to still be active in the program as a mentor to try and inspire young people in the next 5 years, because the children coming up under us are the future of the Bahamas as well as ourselves. And so I would say I would try to stay active in the program and help out and just keep things going.
I say the same thing. I plan to come back and help with the program after going off to college to Canada to study construction engineering, technology management. Mm-hmm. I'll come back and help young kids.
Sounds good. It's so awesome. Congratulations to you both again for an amazing job. I hear through Devontae, of course, how well you two and the group is performing, and just how great the various, whatever those disciplines are that's being introduced, and how well you're working through them and doing. And so that's amazing. Of course, looking forward to the next cohort. But congratulations once again, Ethan and Samia. Congratulations, Samia, of course, as you head off to university. Continue to do very, very well. And Ethan, maybe you'll be back here next year when we talk about you being Student of the Year. Yes. And whatever else you've been able to bring to the program along the way. I thank you both very much and congratulations to you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good to see you soon.
Well, good to see you as well. Bring him back. I tell you, bring Ethan back. But listen, I thank you again. Congratulations to Bonte. Congratulations to you and the team of volunteers and those who obviously make up the executive arm of the YEP program. You're doing an amazing job. It's needed, and the Bahamas salutes you this independence. I thank you all once again so much for tuning in this evening. It's been awesome having you hang out. I look forward to seeing you right back here tomorrow evening. For the entire Beyond the Headlines team, I'm Shanique Miller. Make it a great evening, everyone.
The Verizon Media Group, home of ILTV, Paramount Systems Limited, Eyewitness News.